What's up, people? It's your girl, Adeola. So, before I say anything, let me warn you, this episode is going to offend a lot of people. So you don't have to watch it if you're a man with ego and you think that you're superior to women. My brother, this is the time to turn off the video. Go ahead. Just turn it off. Because, you will not like what I'm about to say. But if you're still watching me and you think you have liver to stomach everything that I'm going to say, Adeola, let us talk. Can you imagine those senators? I don't believe it. My brother, you also don't believe it? God bless you. You're that fun. And it's not just those senators. I've seen all kinds of comments on the internet by some people that are celebrating that the Gender and Equal Opportunity Bill did not pass. Listen to this. As far as I'm concerned, any document claiming gender equality is a fraud, a manipulation by the gay rights movement to destroy the family structure. What are we talking about? What is this person talking about? How can I help this person? What has Equal Opportunity Bill got to do with introducing gay rights in Nigeria? Some people, you can't help them. This person said, if you believe women are equal to men, then ask your mother if she is equal to your father. This person said, God made man and brought woman as a companion to man. He took something from man to make the woman. Do you people know anywhere in the Bible which say that he made a woman? First of all, if I want to be a bad girl, right now, I would just say the first thing that my brother should work on is finding a smart woman that can help him in terms of constructing his words. It's very bad. But I'm not going to say that. The fact that God took a bone from the man's rib near his heart is to teach him how precious the woman is. So he can know that the two of them are one flesh. So he can take extra care of her and cherish her. That's besides the point. Obviously, most of the people that are celebrating that the bill did not pass, they have no idea what this bill is about. It's actually a treaty that originated at the United Nations in 1979, known as the Convention of the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, and it was open for signature to all countries. As of right now, 189 countries, 189, have signed and ratified this treaty. Now, this is the image of the countries that have signed it. The countries painted in green are the ones that signed. Wait a minute. Nigeria? Where is my glasses? Hold on. Is that not Nigeria? Nigeria is part of it. I remember now. We also signed this treaty at the UN in April of 1984. We signed it, making us one of the countries that said yes, so there should be no discrimination against women. The countries that didn't sign are in red. There are countries that did not sign this in the UN, did not force anybody to sign. So we signed it of our own free will. But it's not yet a law in Nigeria. Kind of like we're trying to look good in front of the international world, but we're not really putting it in practice at home, which is basically hypocrisy. And that is what the sponsors of this bill are trying to correct. They want the Senate to make it a law in Nigeria that no one should discriminate against women just because we're women. By the way, this is the third time that the Senate is throwing this bill out of the window. We've been trying to pass this bill for the past 8 years. This bill is not even talking about equality. That is what they've all been shouting. Equality, we can't be equal. It's talking about equal opportunities. This is a bill meant to protect our mothers, our daughters, and our sisters, your wives, my brother, and your girlfriends. Those of you that have girlfriends and you're not married yet, or maybe just your friend, and you're thinking maybe you could lead to something else. And this is a law that is supposed to protect her, whoever it is that is important to you. If passed, this bill will provide protection for women. Thousands of Nigerian girls are being trafficked every day. They are being sold into prostitution. This is the bill that is supposed to provide protection for these girls. They are taking them to Italy and all kinds of places and make sure that their abductors are prosecuted. Some of you that are celebrating that they didn't pass this bill, if your girlfriend is beaten up or raped, if she's not the daughter of a very popular person, do you know how many university professors force their female students to sleep with them in their offices at the hotel before they would pass them? Do you know? And guess what? It may be your girlfriend facing the dilemma tomorrow. The dilemma of whether she would pass or sleep with her professor. And she can't just go and report. Policemen would say, bring evidence. Bring evidence that you were raped. Evidence that your professor wants to sleep with you. What kind of evidence will she bring? And the professor can easily bribe the police. On top of that, she would never pass his class. Or why do you think most women that are raped in Nigeria do not report to the police? This is a bill that is supposed to protect them. You see, this bill, if passed, it will protect widows from inhumane treatment. Some of these people that are rejoicing, again, if your mother becomes a widow tomorrow, God forbid, but you just never know. There's no law to protect her if the family of her late husband insists insist on taking everything from her and her children. Apart from taking her properties, sometimes they force her to marry the brother of her husband, whether she wants to or not. This could happen to your wife, by the way, but I guess you don't really care unless you actually love her. This is the bill meant to protect her when you are not there. Right now, women in many parts of Nigeria are not eligible for simple things like agricultural credit loan for them to farm. I don't see what is wrong in a woman wanting to farm so she can put food on the table for her family, especially if she's a widow and has no one to provide for her. And if she's not a widow, farming means that she can also contribute so that the husband will have to be the only one working to take care of their children. This law is supposed to grant our women access to basic things like agricultural credit loan. Not only that, do you know that more than 10 million Nigerian children of primary and secondary school age do not go to school? Some people are saying that 10.5 million. That is more than the population of some countries. And most of them are girls. A lot of parents who are not educated themselves, they would rather have their daughters selling orange or bread on the street. Or don't you see them every day? Even though there are free public schools, if let's say that money is the issue, there are free public schools. This is the law that would insist that their parents should put them in school, even if they have to sell fish in the evening after school. In fact, some parents would rather put the boy child in school and not put the girl child in school. People will say, well, she will later get pregnant anyway. It's like they didn't even give them the opportunity at all to prove whether they would do well or not. If I didn't go to school, do you think I would be able to bring you this program that I'm bringing you every week? Some girls would get pregnant and then they would say, oh, the girl can no longer continue her education. But what about the boy that got her pregnant? She didn't do the same by herself, did she? This bill is also supposed to make sure that women have equal opportunity when they apply for jobs. You know, I've heard that one bank in Nigeria instructed their female employees to make sure that they don't get pregnant in the first year of employment. So that means that if she gets pregnant, she has to abort it or lose her job. Hey, Nigeria! They have nothing against men having many children while they are working. Imagine somebody telling me that I cannot do this show because I'm a woman. Well, actually, I don't need to imagine. I don't need to imagine because I still get emails from people telling me that you're a woman. What do women know about politics? Just imagine that rationale. Some people, I cannot help them. Now, this part of the bill is what some of these men are afraid of. The part where the bill is meant to promote women's equality in marriage. But why? Why are these men afraid of being equal with the person that you are sleeping with? You are doing with her, you know, but you don't want to be equal with her. If you don't want to be equal with her, why do you get married? You may as well just buy a slave and be sleeping with her. At least people will know, oh, that is your slave. You can do however you want. I'm not promoting slavery, by the way. I'm just, really baffled by how some people think. What does it mean to be equal with your husband? It means that the wife's opinion should also count in her marriage. Instead of just making all the decisions and announcing to her, it's supposed to be a partnership. If you want your marriage to be successful and enjoyable, not endurable. If you want to enjoy your marriage, you're supposed to make your woman happy. Let her feel valued. Ask her what she thinks. What is wrong with that? Even everybody knows that a household is only as happy as the woman of the house. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. A happy wife, a happy life. You're supposed to make your woman feel valued. If you make her feel valued and you cherish her, yourself will know a difference. Before you get home, the food is ready, the house is... When you make a woman feel precious, she will treat you like you are the best thing that ever happened to her. I bet you never see them before. Some people will write me and say, I never knew that a woman can think the way you think. I will say, thank you very much for the compliment. But this is actually not special. A lot of women think the way I do. Maybe it's just that you never gave the women around you the opportunity to voice their opinion. Equality in marriage also means that you can't beat up your wife. No. It's actually a stupid thing for a man to beat up his wife. You and your wife are supposed to be one flesh. So it's like you are beating up yourself. Only a madman does that. Domestic violence is real in Nigeria. You have no idea what so many people are going through. Do you know how many women die in Nigeria every year because the husband beats them to coma? I've read so many stories, I've seen so many articles about women that died because their husband beats them and they don't want to tell anybody about it, so they don't report to anybody. This is the bill that is supposed to protect these women. Equality in marriage also means that a girl should have a say in whether or not she's ready to get married. Benny, you don't just announce to a girl, you're getting married. They don't even ask them, do you want to do this? No. And what happens. 13% of the whole world's maternal deaths happen in Nigeria. Are we the only one? That means that 36,000 women die during pregnancy or child delivery every year. 36,000. If you don't know what that means, let me break it down for you. About 100 to 140 pregnant women die in Nigeria every day. So as you are watching me, they are burying 100 pregnant women. And of the 36,000 that die every year in Nigeria, more than 5,000 of them are teenagers. Most of them from Jigawa State. And just because it's not happening at your backyard doesn't mean that it's not happening. In fact, if you've seen that movie by Stephanie Linus, Dry, the movie titled Dry, it will open your eyes. Nigeria also has the worst mortality rate in all of Africa. In the whole of African countries, a baby has a higher rate of survival than if he or she was born in Nigeria. And we have the second worst mortality rate in the whole world, which is why one time like this, they said that Nigeria is the worst place on earth to be born. And it's because of all these things that are happening in Nigeria now. 241,000 babies die in Nigeria every year. It means every day. 600 babies die in Nigeria. 600 babies. I explained this in details in episode 159 in case you are new to all these facts. Corruption has a lot to do with it. The fact that we have 4 doctors to every 10,000 patients also has a lot to do with it. And unstable electricity plays a huge role.
There's no electricity. So, when they bring a labor in the night, what do? We can't just leave the woman to just go like that. Since we have torchlights, I have my other colleague, they will assist.
Flashlight!